Welcome, Star Wars fans, to episode 136 of Tatooine Sons. This show was originally slated to be recorded last Thursday and released on Friday morning. That didn't happen. Why, you ask? That's because of an incident that will forever be known within the family as the Alternator Story. Dad will break
Hint.
it down for you at the top of the show. Yeah. After all of that...
Hold on.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, I do.
After all of that, we're diving into the last two episodes of The Mandalorian. Sam and I will give our initial reviews of Tales from the Galaxy's Edge, and we'll share our favorite moments from that stubborn but lovable droid from Star Wars Rebels, Chopper.
Yeah, we don't have any Chopper sound effects. They're like not available.
Yeah, they need to get on that.
So we're going to go with this
Please.
one. Well, let's do it again.
Droid, please.
There we go.
There we
It's
go.
time for Tatooine Sons.
It's true. All of it.
What is the name of the Porg on the Millennium Falcon?
Force is strong in my family.
What do you think his name is? It's a big moment.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
Maybe Turbis?
Do or do not. There is no try.
Turbis? Pablo, if you're listening to this live stream, that Porg's name is now Turbis. It's a good Star Wars name.
We're not done yet.
These guys recorded an awesome podcast called Tatooine Sons. Everybody listen to that.
Welcome, Star Wars fans. This is Tatooine Sons, your weekly look at all things Star Wars from the unique perspective of a father sharing his love for the amazing space fantasy saga with his two sons. I am BB Nate, and I'm joined first by my brother, Samuel Hutt.
A shoot to Star Wars fans, thanks for tuning in. And if you're not a Star Wars fan, then you can still relate to car troubles.
Oh, you changed your
I did.
Oh, wow. You threw me a curveball.
I want to see what you do with that.
Kind of like my car trouble.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, and of course you can't have Star Wars without bizarre father figures. So on that note, here's my dad, the Bowtie Jedi guy.
Good evening, gentlemen. By
Good
the time
evening.
you listen to this on this podcast, it's going to be Mando Monday on our main podcast release, and then we've got new things coming out on Tuesday. So I forgot that. So I think the note says it's Tuesday, right? That we release this.
Yes.
So if you're getting it on Monday, just get over it. Okay. But yeah. So yeah. We have
And just to preface this all started with ice cream.
It did all start with ice cream.
Yeah.
But ice cream is a wonderful thing. We love our ice cream.
Ice cream's awesome.
Saturday evening of last week, not just a couple of days ago, if you're listening to this on Monday or Tuesday, but last week, I decided I wanted ice cream. So not like, Dairy Queen or Baskin Robbins.
Nah.
I wanted to go
stores, we
get
don't
a
have that around
carton
here.
of ice cream.
Yeah.
Some Rocky Road. We were going to get you guys, Sam and Nate, some different ice cream. My mom and I, where Grammy come from. That's the way the day has gone. Last couple of days. Anyway, Christy and I, my amazing wife and I, wanted Rocky Road. So we hopped in my 2008 Ford Mustang GT convertible V8. I've been typing that into Google a lot over the last week. We hopped into it and started down the road. It's about a 15-minute drive to the grocery store, maybe 10 minutes, depending on the time. Had the top down. It was a nice, it was after night, or after the sun went down, so the stars were out, and we put the top down. It was like 70 degrees. It was a beautiful evening. And we got about 4 miles away from the house, and I started getting all these crazy, horrible lights showing up on my dashboard. And,
Don't get technical with me.
And the radio
was not playing right, and everything was crazy. Now, I've had some issues with this radio before. And it's a really, really complex radio system. It's got the DVD player, even though I've only used it like once for fun just to see if it worked. And it's got like remote controls and all this fun stuff, right?
Right.
So sometimes the computer in that does like an iPhone. It just gets out of it just starts wigging out on you. Mm-hmm. And so what do? You just reboot it, right? Well, no, you don't hit it. This is not L3 in the Millennium Falcon, right? Yeah, this is This is a computer. So I pulled the car over with Nathan. Nate was with me while we went to go get ice cream. I pulled the car over in this residential intersection just off to the side, thinking I'll turn the car off, turn the car back on. It'll reboot the computer and the radio, and we'll be on our way. So we pull into, off to the side of the road, get there, and
I got a bad feeling about this.
It won't start. Completely dead, right? Yep. So then baby Nate, what do we do?
Oh, I get to tell this. Okay, so we wait there for almost an hour, trying to figure out a ton of different things. Then we called roadside assistance, and they came. It took them about.
Meanwhile, I find out that my amazing and beautiful wife Christy has thrown away our jumper cables. I thought maybe jumper cables would help.
In the end, they did.
Well, we'll come back to that a ways down the road on this story because we're still at Saturday at this point. They were all frayed and wires were coming out of it, and so she had thrown them away. Ugly. So she couldn't come jump me with those. She was Sam's going to neighbors trying to find jumper cables and all of that. And so roadside assistance.
Roadside assistance comes, and it's a locksmith, not a tow truck. It's just
what is that all about? In all of this mess, we've never really talked about the fact that our auto insurance roadside assistance department
sent a locksmith
to jump my car or tow it or whatever.
And it's a dad and his son, like
in a minivan. Did you see any of this?
Yeah, I saw.
Just kind of sitting there and kind of just.
No, I'm letting y'all take this part.
And so
I wasn't involved.
They jump it. It does nothing.
Well, no, it starts. We tried to jump it with. So Sam gets jumper cables from the neighbors. Mom brings the jumper cables. We try to jump it with her car. Nothing happens.
Sammy accidentally holds the
yeah. Oh yeah, you sparked the.
That freaked me out. I was not expecting that.
Cables together.
It's kind of like Baby Yoda today.
So then, so locksmith shows up. He puts the jumper machine that he has
alternator
in his car.
Not
alternator.
Thing. I don't know. It was a really strange machine. And he's like, okay, it started. So we closed the hood a little bit.
No. We start it and it starts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know.
And then he takes the cables off.
Okay.
Assuming that it's going to work.
And it dies.
It dies.
Yeah.
And he's like, you've got an alternator problem. All right. So this is a start.
That was all the epilogue
of the alternator problem. So he basically hooks this machine back up. He's like, you're going to have to get towed. He's like, I'm like, okay. I would have loved for my insurance company to have sent an actual roadside assistance company, tow truck or something, because you can't help me. So now I got to wait for that. And he's like, well, how far away do you live? And I'm like, maybe 3 miles, 4 miles at most, I guess. And he's like, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take the machine. We're going to start the car back up. The battery pack that I have that he used to jump it.
Yeah.
He's like, let's put it on. We're going to close the hood on
top of the machine. Still connected.
And then you're going to put your hazards on, and we're going to hope you get all the way home before the power in the machine runs out. Right? So then he follows us home. We get to the driveway. We pull it in the driveway. Take the battery cables off. It dies immediately. Yep. He's like, you got an alternator problem, that kind of thing. Now, Sam and Nathan.
Yes.
Have I ever been known to be a grease monkey?
No.
None of us are.
Not a handyman, not a grease monkey, none of it.
But
no green thumb.
No, I'm not. I'm not that kind of guy. That is not who I am. But the idea of spending like $400 or $500 on fixing this alternator did not sound like a great idea to me at that point with it. So the guy that had helped us with the roadside assistance, he's like, you can get a brand new version. Don't get a rebuilt one. He says, get a brand new one on Amazon for, maybe $150, couple $100. And then he's kind of implying that an imbecile should be able to get this thing up and running if they follow the YouTube video or something. He doesn't actually say that, but that's the way he suggests it, right? So I get online on YouTube. I didn't deal with it anymore that night. Actually, we got back to the house. Sam and Nate got in the other car, drove and got our ice cream.
Y'all wanted some friggin' ice cream.
I was going to get my ice cream. So we get our ice cream. We come, Saturday night, we watch a TV show. We eat some ice cream. We chill. I think we're watching football. We chill out and do that. Next morning, I get up. I do what I need to do in the morning, and then I pull open my computer and I start watching YouTube videos for.
YouTube is a wonderful place.
It really is. You can find out. I mean, if you find the right videos, that's a problem that I had at the beginning. I watched this video. I'm like, this looks like I can do this, right?
Then you found out I was wrong.
So then I go out to my car to look at my engine just to see that I see the same things that I saw in the video. Nope, that didn't work.
Don't get technical with me.
It was a V6 engine, not a V8 engine. So on the video, so I had to go back and find a V8 version, and I watched 4 or 5 different guys, and most of them are like taking time explaining what they're doing while they're doing it, and it still takes them 10-15 minutes to change out this alternator. I realize I need this special tool to get the tensioner released, and so I can get the belt off and all this. So I look online on Amazon. $130 for a brand new alternator. $20-$30 for the tool for the tensioner, right? The cheater bar, they called it. So I'm like, okay, I watch these videos. They're all doing it the same way. I feel like we got this done, right? I can do this. I can do this. Sam and Nate can assist me. This will be a good
father-son bonding moment.
Be a good experience.
Work on a car together.
Yeah, get our hands dirty.
Yeah,
except you didn't.
accomplish our goals, right? So we order it. It says Amazon Prime. We order it Sunday. It's going to be here Monday.
Yeah.
Woo. Wednesday rolls by.
No, it got here late Tuesday night after dark.
Yeah.
And then Wednesday we had a bunch of stuff scheduled. You guys had CLEP testing in the morning. I had meetings. We had some other stuff that we had to do with that. And so it was dark before we got back, and there was no way I was going to get that worked on Wednesday. So Thursday. Here it is. It's the day, right?
We're going to do this.
We plan out our day. I've got a crazy busy morning with work. I get all of my stuff knocked out. It's like 1:30, 1:45 in the afternoon, and we've got time. It's a beautiful day.
We're like, we'll
it's
park
not
it outside.
super hot out. It's not super hot out. We're going to go in there, and we're going to pull up in that hood. We're going to take that alternator out, put the new one in, start the car up, and be done, right?
Yeah.
So we get out there.
This is just the beginning.
We're 12 minutes into the show.
Yeah, this is going to be a long show.
We'll run through the other parts faster. So we get to I get the first couple pieces off, and I realize I don't necessarily have all the tools that I need, but I'm trying to do it. I need different sockets, and I don't have them. And finally, we realize there's no way we're going to get all of these bolts where they're at the
length and stuff
without a new socket set. So we jump in the car, not that car, obviously. We jump in a different car and go to Lowe's, buy socket set that we need, come back, start taking everything off. It's going super smooth.
Yeah, everything comes off, no problem.
Too smooth.
Yeah. So we get the I have to take the overhead or the air intake off. I get the air intake off, the whole intake system off. I get the thing I was scared most about was putting that breaker, that cheater bar on, and moving that tensioner and getting that belt off. For some reason, that was scary to me, like thinking I was going to mess something up. Get it in there. That was easy. The belt comes off. We unhook the alternator. We get all the cables off of it. We get the new one out of the box, shiny as can be.
Everything else is black and dirty. And
we put the new alternator on. We hook all the pieces, connectors up to it. We get the air intake system assembled on there and put together on there. I go over to
you plug your battery back.
My battery cable. I put my battery cable back on. Turn the key.
Click. Nothing.
Click.
Just nothing.
Click. What was your reaction, Samuel the Hutt, at this moment?
Just like
Mom is taking a nap.
Yeah.
At this point,
we had to be quiet.
We were. Yeah. So what was your reaction?
It was just defeat. We were like, crap, because we had no idea what to do at this point.
Like, at this point,
We're not
nothing.
car people.
I got nothing right now. Absolutely nothing. What did you think about it being?
I was like, we just gotta figure this out before Mom wakes up and finds out.
Because she wanted us to go to a mechanic, and you're like, nah, I can do it.
This is a Cosby Show episode, right?
Yes.
This is I'm literally having flashbacks of Heathcliff Huxtable trying to fix the shower, and the shower tiles all falling off. the more he's trying to fix the leak in the shower, the more of a disaster he's got. And I'm like, we've already spent all this money on these pieces. What if it's not even the alternator? And then I start to then the real panic starts to set in. Because what if it's the entire electrical system has gone crazy on this? That could be thousands to try to
car,
fix.
pretty much.
If your computer and your entire electrical system is
might
gone
as well
on the fritz.
just get that new car that mom's been wanting.
Oh my gosh, I'm panicking. So, now go ahead, baby Nate.
You're in the car and you're like, I think it's a security system because Dad's had a security system that's always been kind of on the fritz.
It's like it's not on the fritz necessarily, but it's like really, really particular,
sensitive,
and intense. Like
yeah.
Everything shuts off if the security system notices that.
Yeah, you won't be able to turn your car on. You won't.
And
be
we
able to
experienced a problem with the key fob that turns it on and off just a couple of weeks ago when we were traveling in that car. It wouldn't unlock. We couldn't get the car started. None of that.
You couldn't put it in gear. None of it in
gear. And then all of a sudden we turn the key and we finally get it to do, and everything works fine on the car when we were traveling.
Right. So that was good. And I step in the car and you're like, okay, try to turn it on. You need to figure out where it's coming from. So I'm starting to turn it on. You're hearing the clicking, and I look, and there's the symbol for the anti-theft system.
Yeah, so it's like it's got to be the lock, right?
It has to be.
It's got to be that.
So Sammy and I are like, okay, maybe we need to change the battery in the key fob itself.
Yeah,
maybe
that's maybe it's not being able to send a signal.
Yeah. And so we decided we were going to go to Walmart. Another trip. We went to Walmart. We picked up those batteries.
And meanwhile, I'm stepped back at the house watching YouTube videos on how to fix electrical systems in this car.
So
and
you're
I'm
like
cold sweats because there's nothing I can do to fix this.
And
I decide at partial let's get jumper cables.
Yeah, you're like, pick up some jumper cables.
We'll need them eventually someday anyway.
Yeah.
Let's get jumper cables, right? So you guys pick up some jumper cables and
the
battery
for cables. You can get jumper cables at Walmart for $9.
And they were good.
They were good. They're long.
So we got the battery for the key fob. We got the jumper cables. We got fuses because
just in case I needed like a fuse for the alternator or something.
Yeah. We get all that, and we come home, and I pull up in the Kia, and you're like, let's just jump it. Let's
no. That's not it.
No,
let's try to. I replaced the key fob.
Oh, that's right.
Battery, nothing. Literally nothing. Then Nathan gets back in the car, or BB Nate gets back in the car. I'm like, there's nothing I can do. We're going to have to push it into the garage, and put it in neutral, push it into the garage. I think it was you that got in the garage.
I got in the car.
So Nate and I are going to push it in. Sam's going to put it in neutral. So he turns the key forward to where you can move the transition. Press the brake. Try to move it. Now the gear shift isn't even changing.
The
button won't to press.
Nothing's happening.
Nothing. There's no lights on the dash. There's nothing. And so the only solution that we can have here is
let's jump it.
Let's just see if jumping does something.
So I step in the car like a little bit after, and I'm like, okay, I'll try it because what else are we going to try? And I look on the dashboard, and the anti-theft system light is still on, but it's dimmer than it was.
Barely on, yeah.
And so we're like, okay, so the battery's still working.
That's true.
We have a little bit of something going on.
So we get the cars to where we need the cars to be, and it's barely long enough because I couldn't move the Mustang.
Yeah.
So we get the Kia over where the jumper cables are barely long enough to stretch. We hook them up to the Kia, then we hook them up to the Mustang. And what's the first thing that happens when it connects to the Mustang battery?
Like right as I put it on the Mustang, because it lets out a little.
Yeah, the horn honks, and lights flash on the car.
We're all like, whoa!
Oh, that's actually promising. Right? Don't worry. There's still like 10 minutes of this story. And we're going to have a fast Star Wars part of the episode. So,
sorry.
Yeah. So,
this is more like
but this is therapy.
Tatooine Sons talk show.
Yeah, this is therapy for us, for at least for me, with it, because there's more to this story. So, we put it on. I try to jump. I immediately try to start the car, and it's still just click, 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 click. So I'm like, okay, I've done this with jumper cables before. I've seen this happen. That battery is just wasted. There's nothing in that battery right now.
The great thing, though, is when we were doing the click, click, click without the jumping, it was just like a click, click, click. But this one, it had a little bit of vibrations with the
something was trying to do something.
We're like, okay, it's trying to get back to where it was Saturday night.
So I had to tell Sam to rev the engine on the Kia. Let's get some juice powered over to the other battery in the Kia or the Mustang. After like 2 or 3 minutes of him revving the engine, I'm like, all right, keep it revved. Let's go. I start it. Boom! Starts right up. I'm like,
Thank God.
I'm having a charismatic Pentecostal fit right now. I'm like speaking in tongues. I'm not really, but I'm like having church right there in my car. But the fuel light, I knew I was almost out of fuel.
So when the car just decided to die on Saturday night,
it said 20 to 30 miles for fuel. I was going to get gas when we got to the gas station.
Yeah, it's okay. And then we got it on for like a tiny bit.
It said 0 fuel, miles still empty. And so I'm like, crap, this engine is going to die because there's no gas in it, which means that the battery's not going to get charged because of the alternators, because the car's not running. So I've got to get this thing to the...
And you can't shut it down because we don't know if we'll be able to get it started back up.
Exactly. So I'm panicking.
So you're like, Sam...
Get in the Kia. Follow me.
We're going to 7-Eleven.
Yeah. So
I go inside and I'm trying to grab my stuff. I'm like, I can't find my wallet. And you're like, it's fine. Just go. Like, because the car is running. Like, we got to get to the gas station. So I'm like,
I jump in the car and I start driving away.
Yeah, I like follow as fast as I can. I'm like speeding in this little 4-cylinder Kia, trying to keep up.
Tight neighborhood with the
yeah. So we get over to the 7-Eleven. We get to the light where you turn left, and there's construction,
and you can't turn left. And I know my car's about to die at any second.
The thing is, I didn't know any of this happened.
Okay, we go. I have to go up like another half.
You have to go to the right,
take a
U-turn,
do this crazy turnaround, get back on the other side of the road, get into the gas station. We're good to go, right? I get to the gas station. I pull out I'm like, Sam, I'd given him my credit card to go to Walmart to get the stuff. I'm like, where's that credit card? I need to use it for gas.
I'm like, I don't have it. I threw it on the table.
So I grab my wallet. I open up. I grab the debit card. I get the gas in there. Try to start the car up.
Nothing.
Car won't start. Now we're sitting at 7-Eleven. I had thrown the jumper cables in the back of the Kia. Before I left, and I'm like, well, we'll see if it jumps. It's going to jump. I'm confident now. It's going to jump now. It's not the alternator. The battery may be completely dead now, but the alternator's working, so we can get it jumped. So
the great thing is, though, we've replaced batteries a couple times.
Yeah. So I pop open the hood, and the driving over the negative cable. Had come off of the post because I hadn't tightened it enough, and so it hadn't charged the battery. So I'm like, oh, that's easy. We're in an easy fix scenario. I get it on there. I tighten it as best as I can. Don't worry, there's a lot more of the story. I tighten it as best as I can on there. We jump the car, starts right up. Now I've got it tight enough. I've got a full tank of gas.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good about things, right?
Yeah.
We're going to go to the house. I'm going to leave it running. I'm going to get my wrench out. I'm going to tighten that up all the way, and then we're going to take my mom's car because we've been borrowing my mom's car so I could drive around for some stuff I had to do. We're going to take it back, and then that'll charge up the battery while we're doing that, and we'll be good to go.
Yep.
Right?
No.
Right?
So we get home, and we're about to leave. You're about to take the Mustang, and then we're going to take Grammy's car. I was going to drive Grammy's car, but I couldn't find my wallet, and Mom's like, you're not driving without your license. So we're like...
We're looking for the wallet. We're looking for the wallet.
You can't find your phone.
And now I can't find my phone.
You have no idea where your phone is. So we're like, okay, okay. You're like, Sam, you're going to just come with me. You're going to hop in my car, and we're going to look for your wallet.
No. This is before that.
Oh.
So
yeah.
So before that, I'm looking for my phone. Sam is like... Well, we've got that. What's the app we use?
Life 360.
Life 360. So we can track our kids, right? Because, or know where each other are at any point. He pulls up Life 360 to see where my phone is.
And it says it's in the under like an underpass.
I'm like, what in the world? And then I remember where I'd left my phone on top of my car when we were doing all this stuff. So my phone had taken a trip toward the 7-Eleven gas station and now was sitting on the side of the road somewhere because it had come off while I was driving, and now I had to get to find it. So Sam jumps in the car. We drive over. He's running around on the side of the road looking for his phone in his flip-flops. I go park. I'm dealing with, trying to make sure my car is going to restart again. It does, and feel good about that at that point. And then I go and try to help Sam, and meanwhile Sam's like 5 or 6 minutes of looking for this phone.
So I'm running up and down the side of the sidewalk looking at the app, and it says it's like I should be right on top of it right now, but it's just not here. So I'm like, all right, I'll give it a call. Maybe I can see like a light flash or something just to see if something happens. I call, and then all of a sudden there's a hello, and I'm like, where'd you find this? And he's like, under the underpass. And what had happened was there's road construction all up and down that road, and one of the workers found it and picked it up. I'm like, where are you? He's like, just up the road. And so I go and pick it up from him. I find you. The screen is
is destroyed.
It's just cracked,
to
like crazy.
Yeah, it's horrible. And so now I'm like, okay, but hey, we've got my phone. Now let's go back to the house and we'll deal with all the stuff that we have to deal with getting the car back. And we'll find Sammy's wallet. I'm sure it's just sitting somewhere. And
it's probably in the car or something.
And that kind of thing.
And so while all of this is going on, I'm trying to call Walmart to see if he dropped his wallet at some point. And Walmart sucks with calling because I'm sitting here. I called
like 20 minutes.
I called it 4 times. And each time they picked up, they hung up.
Yeah. So we get to the house, and now it's kind of that point where everybody is like just done. You know.
Yep.
We're frustrated. We're stressed out. People are kind of getting testy with each other, and all of this. And I'm like, Sam, get in my car. We're going to Walmart. We're going to find your wallet. So we get to Walmart, and Sam takes me to the exact parking spot.
He
was convinced that it had fallen out of his pocket when he was getting in or out of the car.
Yep.
So we go to the exact parking spot, and
nothing. There's nothing there.
So now we're like George Bailey and Peter Bailey in It's a Wonderful Life when he loses the $8,000. If you've seen this movie, right? They're tracing every step through the day. This is what we're doing in Walmart. We're going to the checkout area. Well, first of all, we can't even get in the door that you went in because they've got it closed because of COVID that night.
Yeah, it only comes out at night, apparently.
I guess, yeah. So we went in the other door. We came around. We start looking. We go all the way
to the exact
same path. We go to the exact same battery section. Nothing. We go to the fuses. Nothing. We go to the battery cable section. Nothing. We go to the checkout section where the self checkout. Nothing. So all we can do now is go to customer service and see if somebody turned it in. Right.
So there's somebody good left in this.
Yeah, exactly. So we go to the customer service area. We wait in the line. We get up to the front.
Yeah, Mom calls me, and she's like, you need to get in on your apps and lock your cards
so nobody
goes on a shopping spree.
Exactly. So we get up there to the register. They don't have it. They decide to send somebody to see if it got turned into like the office or whatever with it. And at this point, I'm like, I just need to get like
a screen
protector for my phone so I don't slice my thumbnail off, my fingerprint off when I'm trying to use my phone, and at least I can function with this phone with it. So I'm like, I'm going to go into the back. I'm going to go get a screen protector.
I stay in.
You stay up front and see if they get an answer on it, and you work on your bank accounts and see what's going on. So I'm walking to the back, and my phone rings. It's Sam. Sam, what do you say?
I call him and I'm like, hey, do you want to see a magic trick?
I am as livid I have lost all sense of reason at this point. What is this idiot kid doing? Calling me after all of this while I'm in Walmart. We can't find his wallet. My phone is destroyed. I'm frustrated about the alternator. I'm dealing with all that. My wife is pissed off at me because I did this all, and really none of this would have happened had we just taken the car to get worked on by somebody else, right? I am losing my mind when he asks me this stupid question. Do you want to see a magic trick? I'm dying inside. I'm like, if I'm not in Walmart, he's getting yelled at on the phone. But I'm in Walmart, so I'm like, Sam, what are you talking about?
So I say, check your pocket.
I'm like, check my pocket? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, your wallet's not in my pocket.
I'm like, check your pocket.
I pull out my wallet.
You're like, it's not in there.
It's not in there. I am so livid. Right?
It's a black billfold.
It's a black billfold. I pull it out. I'm holding the black billfold. I open it up, and it's Sam's driver's license. I had Sammy's wallet in my pocket this entire time. Unbelievable.
So
what had happened was when the car started and we needed to get to the gas station, I ran in the house as fast as I can to grab my wallet. I saw the black billfold that was sitting on the table,
which I threw there after Walmart,
which I thought was mine. I grabbed it. We jumped in the car. And so how did you find out?
So I'm sitting there at customer service closing down my cards.
Yeah, before he calls me and I lose my mind.
I check my debit card and I see there's a purchase for $28 at 7-Eleven. And I'm like,
Now he's thinking somebody's got my card and they're buying Slurpees for everybody.
I'm like, what could this be? And then I realized, or I remembered, my wallet wasn't on the table. And Nathan and I, in one of the drawers, saw your wallet.
During all the kerfuffle earlier, they had both seen my wallet.
Yes, but the thing is, I thought that, maybe he just didn't need his wallet.
I thought maybe you had two wallets or something, because you swore up
So
and
they
down
both
you had
saw
your
my wallet, and since I was swearing I had my wallet, they ignored the wallet that was in the drawer and assumed I had my wallet, when in reality I had Sam's wallet.
Right.
I used his debit card to buy gas on the car.
7-Eleven.
All of that.
So I'm sitting there, I see it all clicks. It's like that moment where everything falls into place, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then I give you the call. I'm walking. I can see you, as I was walking and calling you.
I was so mad.
Yeah.
I was livid. But now the alternator works. I've got a functional phone, even if it's ugly. I
have my wallet.
Sam has his wallet. He never lost it, for real. We've got all of our debit cards. We've got, all of that kind of stuff. And that's that. So
here's the alternator story.
That's the alternator story. With that. So here's what I'm going to say. This Thanksgiving, we're thankful. We're thankful. I have a car that's running, that we have our wallet. That's all that kind of stuff. We want to wish you guys a
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
And that'll be just a couple of days after you listen to this. And then we're going to get into some Star Wars now. With that, before we do that, though, I want to announce that we're going to be joining a radio network. It's an internet radio, a Helium radio network. It's the largest internet radio network, exclusive internet radio network in the country. It's had 5 million people tune in 2019 to their radio network. Averages about 400,000 listeners per month, and they have asked us to join their stable of shows. They've got 4 or 5 different stations. We're going to be on their Tuesday evenings lineup, prime time, on their Helium After Dark network or station. And the reason they're putting us on that is because that's the entertainment network with that. And so let's just a little disclaimer here. Our show is going to stay the exact same. We're going to continue to be family friendly, and the content that will be going out there is exactly what we do on this show all the time. But other shows on that network sometimes throw some off color language and things like that in there. So just be aware of that if you tune into Helium Radio After Dark Network. But we're excited.
It'll be fun.
All right. You guys want to talk about next week's or last week's?
Come on, Dad.
Last week's podcast poll of the week.
Are you brainless?
I never asked that question till after I've done it. What?
All right, last week's podcast poll of the week was really simple. We talked about L337, and it was L337 is either a great droid, annoying, just another droid, or other comment below. I put a great droid. I liked her.
Yeah.
Nathan,
I think
you said just another droid.
Yes,
Nathan.
because
I said a great droid.
Yeah. Okay. 66.7% agreed with Nathan, Sam and I. A great droid. Second place was annoying. 21.4%.
Wow, that's rude.
10.7% came in at just another droid, and then we had 1.2% other comment below. And who's got the first?
I have this one, and it's from Cam Vanth, creator of Star Wars Mediocrity, at Cam Ray.
Yeah, good old Cam Ray. He's our buddy of ours. Over there in Tampa. Seriously.
Maybe I'm terrible, but I think she's annoying.
Yeah.
Well, you're entitled to your opinions.
A lot of people felt that way. A lot of people didn't like her.
Really?
So, yeah, that's it. I have Daniel T. Foster. He's at Weird One, but it's EE. Yeah, WEERD.
That's
weird. That is weird. There should be an entire post-sequel trilogy about her brain going back into a droid body and her leading the Droid Alliance to end machine oppression.
Droid, please.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Interesting idea.
Yeah.
This one's from Corellian Blue at Blue Corellian. Very easy. Said, plus, she is the brains inside the Falcon.
Yeah, she had a gift of Homer, or this Corellian Blue had a gif of Homer screaming or something like, oh,
right, yeah.
Yeah, so Yeah.
She's got a point.
Yeah, definitely.
She does.
It's actually a he. I think I just
He.
mistaken.
I don't know why I said she.
Not that we're going to assume anyone's gender or their pronouns with that. Okay. We don't want to be canceled. We're going to talk about cancel culture a little bit on this show, a couple different times.
Oh, yeah. Wait.
On this episode.
I know one.
Yeah. This week's coming up poll, we're talking about Chopper on the show if we ever get to the main topic. The best thing about Chopper is his connection with Hera, that stubborn streak. He's voiced by Dave Filoni. Or other comment below. So what are you going to pick of those?
His connection with Hera.
Okay, BB Nate.
Definitely Dave Filoni.
Dave Filoni.
I always loved that.
I do too. All right. We rolled through the podcast poll results quickly so we could get to some other more meatier Star Wars related topics.
Yeah, we're still going to have to roll through them quickly.
We're going to talk through them pretty quickly here. So we've got some of the last couple of episodes of The Mandalorian that we haven't talked about, and there was really not much in them. But we'll talk a little bit about those.
Couple minutes.
Oculus decided to just drop a Star Wars VR game on everybody, surprisingly, and then Daisy Ridley. Did I just say that?
Yes, you
Daisy
did.
Ridley.
There you go.
Actually has some thoughts on cancel culture. That's all up next on Hot Takes.
This is where the fun begins.
Well, you want the bad news or the really bad news?
Impressive. Every word in that sentence was wrong.
All right. Bo-Katan is real life.
Yeah.
Dark Troopers are back, and Dr. Pershing may be the Rosetta Stone.
When did the Dark Troopers come back?
Is that the...
and Dr. Pershing may be the Rosetta Stone of the sequel trilogy era. Chapters 11 and 12 of The Mandalorian are out, and they did not disappoint. We got new Mandos. Frog Lady and Frog Dude were reunited and had a baby.
That was the sweetest part.
It was. Baby Yoda didn't eat the baby. Oh, and then there's that whole Bo-Katan thing, and then the promise of Ahsoka Tano, and clones on Navarro, and Moff Gideon's return, and then that ending to Chapter 12. That was crazy. All right, Samuel the Hutt.
That is me.
What did you think about these episodes?
Oh, they were great. There's so much I could say, but I won't.
No, feel free. Elaborate a little bit. Go for it.
Okay. I feel like the episode with Bo-Katan was short, but it fit a lot in there. It was really well done. We learned about why Mando wears the helmet and how he's actually...
Yeah, what did you guys think about the Children of the Watch stuff and the way Bo-Katan responded to taking off his mask and he's freaking out, you're not really Mandalorians and all that? What did you think about that part?
She handled herself really well, I feel like. Because, she ruled Mandalore at one point. Mando has no room to speak.
That's true. Regard. Mandalorian, who's not even from Mandalore, is telling the former Mandalore that she's not Mandalorian.
Right.
Hold on, this one deserves this.
Great kid! Don't get cocky!
After the Mandalorian was like, you're not Mandalorian, where'd you get that armor? She's like, this armor has been in my family for generations.
Exactly.
Who are you?
You made yours from armor from the Purge.
What did you think about that interaction between Mando and Bo-Katan?
I thought that the whole interaction between the episode was really good. She handled herself very well. She also respected his culture by kind of saying this is the way. At some points, it was
sarcastic, though.
But the ending, though, kind of still felt like okay.
No, she was more like, "This is the way. This is what things are supposed to be."
And I think that Mandalorian's starting to move closer to removing his helmet. I mean,
yeah, we saw that in this episode.
Yeah, and of course, because this episode doesn't come out until Mando Mondays, you guys realize understand that within the Star Wars fan community,
48 hours.
Mando Monday is when you're allowed to start talking about spoilers.
So we're able to talk about spoilers for both
of these episodes.
Perfect.
So, there's a lot of people on Twitter, social media, Facebook, and such have been talking about asking, speculating as to what Bo-Katan's feelings towards Din Djarin was when she realizes he's part of the Children of the Watch and some of that. Why do you explain that? That's what I thought, but
just
explain why you think that.
He's been brainwashed in an extent into believing that while yes he is a Mandalorian, it's not the true Mandalorian way, and there's really not much you can do to help him there because he's been raised like this for years now. So it was probably a sense of pity.
I think that she felt pity and fear for Baby Yoda being put into this culture.
Oh wow, I hadn't thought about that.
Right after she said that, and that they take finalizing and then brainwash them practically, she looked at Baby Yoda and was like, a little worried that same thing is going to now happen to him.
Wow. So
I think she felt that, but I think that she felt like she left her mark on him, and maybe he'll change his ways, even though probably not.
I really do feel like she looks at Din Djarin and sees herself years earlier. I think she sees herself with Death Watch, where she's a zealot, she's a fundamentalist, she's a religious, fanatic, and she's willing to sell out even her own sister in order for her beliefs on about Death Watch and the Mandalorian, things like that. And until Maul, spoiler alert, Maul kills Satine, that's who she is, and she sees that in Din Djarin. With that, so when you say pity, that's where I'm going. I'm thinking she's like, something's got to help him see this. Do we see Bo-Katan later on in the series or in the season?
Yeah, I mean,
they have to.
I want to say just because it's such an interesting character, a beloved character. It was fun. Yeah, I think they can, and I think they can bring her in pretty easily too.
Yeah, let's talk about this last episode, the one that just literally came out today, chapter 12. What was the name of the siege?
Yeah, the siege.
With it, so they go back to Navarro because his ship won't go to. We didn't even talk about the biggest moment of chapter 11. The heiress.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, that whole Ahsoka Tano.
That
sends,
part,
Mando wants to find other Jedi to connect Yoda, and of course Bo-Katan knows where Jedi are, and she says you're going to go to, what's it, Corvus?
Yeah,
you're going to go to
the forest moon of Corvus.
The forest moon of Corvus, and see a Jedi named Ahsoka Tano. Mm-hmm. And so we've known it was coming. We've thought the rumors have been there, the spoilers have been there, but now it's coming.
Just the one thing I am so excited to see is Ahsoka's reaction to another kind of species of Yoda. I want to see how she reacts to that, because she's not seen them except for Yaddle, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know if she ever saw Yaddle or not. So, it's going to be a lot of fun. And, I think a lot of people initially, when they first saw Chapter 11, thought, all right, next episode, Ahsoka's coming. If you listened to our show before, we've been predicting for months.
Chapter 5.
Episode 5 of this season, right? Chapter 13. Dave Filoni wrote it. Dave Filoni directs it. It's the only one he's doing this season.
It's his baby.
It's the only one Ahsoka's coming. So we knew Ahsoka wasn't coming in this next episode. So Mando in Chapter 12, he's on his way to try to get to the forest moon of Corvus, and his ship is crap from what happens to it.
Yeah, that Mon Calamari did not do a great job.
And he's like, talk about the opening with Baby Yoda.
Oh, that was perfect after the other day. So it opens and...
Yeah, this felt a lot like what we felt
they can't get the ship working. And he's like, fix the wire. So he goes and he looks, and there's this little corridor that he put Baby Yoda in because Baby Yoda could fit. And he's got these 2 wires, right?
He's like, red wire, blue wire.
He's like, put the red wire where the blue wire goes. And Baby Yoda's like looking at it, and he puts the blue wire where the blue wire goes. He's like, no, red wire where the blue wire goes, but don't let him touch. And it was so patient, and Baby Yoda didn't understand, and then he touches them together.
Yeah.
It was so cute, and it was just awesome. I loved seeing kind of that relationship.
It did very feel much like a dad and his kid.
It's getting more and more like a dad and his kid, and he's trying to be patient with Baby Yoda, but he's frustrated with Baby Yoda. As a dad, I related to Mando.
And then they go and they're getting some soup or something downstairs, and he actually lifts up his helmet just enough to drink the soup, which is the first time he's done that.
In front of Baby Yoda, that's the first time
he didn't take it off all the way.
Yeah,
but.
That's why but
that's cool. Is he going to take his mask off?
I think by the end of
for
this.
At least Baby Yoda, it has to be.
Or Baby O'Mara from season 1, chapter 4.
Maybe. I don't know if they can bring that back.
They're going back. Anyway, I promise you, they're getting married.
Baby Yoda's getting closer to speaking his first word.
Yeah, he's trying. So, all right. So they get on Navarro, and it's a side quest. It's a side quest episode.
They're like, we can fix your ship, but while you're here, can you help us out?
Yeah, exactly. And you're like, oh, great. Here we go. You knew it was going to happen.
Right.
Even Mandalorian was like that. Oh, no.
Yeah, here we go again. So basically, the side quest is the Empire's got another facility on we got to move on. So he's on Navarro. They've got another facility on Navarro. Grief Karga wants him, Mando, and Cara Dune and Mithril, the guy that he put in carbonite in the very first
Bluefish
episode,
guy.
Bluefish guy, to go and blow up the facility so that they can be completely free of the Empire.
Yeah.
Right? It's an easy in, an easy out mission. Anytime someone tells you something is easy, don't believe them, especially a YouTube video about
changing an alternator.
Yeah,
yeah.
no,
They didn't warn
that
us
part
about
was
losing
easy.
wallets or
Everything
phones.
else was messed up. Okay, they get there, and it's when they're at the facility that something really interesting happens.
What are we talking about?
When
my
they
word.
the cloning tubes. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That thing.
There's just a lot of interesting stuff that happened. But
Did that look like Snoke's?
It just looked like weird creatures.
I honestly think that they were, like Cardoon said, it's a lab. I think they're trying to make a new clone body for a deteriorating emperor.
I think, yeah, this is and so we see a video. They play a hologram
from 3 days before this all happened
with Dr. Pershing from season 1. If you have listened to this show last year when we were doing,
called it.
We said as soon as we started seeing the cloner symbol on his arm, we're like, "This is this."
He's using Baby Yoda to make a clone for the Emperor.
Yep, we knew it.
I know why the client. I don't remember. Did we ever get his name?
No,
just call him the client.
The client. I know why he was okay with him being brought in dead.
Because they just needed
needed his blood.
And Dr. Pershing didn't want to just take his blood one time. He wanted to be able to continue to utilize it with it. So Dr. Pershing wasn't being like generous to Baby Yoda, to the child in season 1.
No.
Episode 3.
He was doing it for his own benefit.
Exactly. So there, the hologram basically says they've been using the blood with a high, with Baby Yoda's blood to try to create these creatures or utilize them in these
and they're using Baby Yoda because he has a high midichlorian, obviously.
Did you ever think that all of the sequel trilogy wouldn't have happened if Mando just killed Dr. Pershing right there?
That's probably true, but that wasn't the way it was going to go. So, yeah, so they that's the big reveal in that
and then
part.
Mando finds out that Gideon is still alive.
Oh yeah, they learned that Moff Gideon is still alive. So then they blow up the base, the Imperial base. Mando escapes, saves the day.
Chasing.
His ship is repaired by this, and then we have an after scene.
Mm-hmm.
We also see Baby Yoda vomit. That was pretty cool.
That was
adorable.
Okay. So what's the after scene?
We get on a Star Destroyer or not a Star Destroyer, some Corvette sort of thing. And we find out that one of the repair technicians that worked on the Razor Crest was actually working for the Empire, and they planted a tracker. And then they go to let Moff Gideon know, and I don't remember exactly what he says.
The biggest thing that happens, doesn't really matter what he says. They wants to know that the baby's still alive, the child is still alive, child is still alive, that kind of thing. And then he turns around and he's like, we're preparing for something. I don't remember exactly what he says, but you see these cylinders, and they're like,
it's like these figures, and like these
they're giants, and they look like they're in like robots, or they're
they're either droids or they're really big stormtrooper armor.
The theory right now is that these are bringing in the Dark Troopers from Dark Empire, the game in the 90s. They were like robots, they were giant, and they were kind of like the bosses of that game. Like, yep, that's it.
Yeah, I pulled up a picture.
But here's the thing. It's not going to be. They're not going to be droids.
You think they're going to be people?
They're cloned like something.
I think they're droids.
I don't.
Judging by where it was set up, I think they're droids. Just judging by how
like the way they were stacked together.
I think they're like the Dark Troopers, but I don't think they're droids. I think that it's clone related.
I'm curious to see it.
Little fun fact:
yeah.
the source that gave them all of the tracker and stuff was actually the second time we've ever seen that species. The first time was Greaves from Squadrons.
I noticed that.
Huh?
You don't remember the weird big?
Oh yeah.
That was the first time, and this was the second time. So I'm happy they're at least bringing stuff in from that.
All right. Yeah. So did we get the cloning thing with Dr. Pershing and the Palpatines right?
Oh, I think we're totally on.
Of course.
What else would they be cloning for?
Okay, good. Next week is the episode that we've all been waiting for. Mini spoiler here. The leaked title is The Jedi. And it is written and directed again, like we mentioned earlier, by Dave Filoni.
Good old Davey.
This is the way. This is the way.
All right, Tales from Galaxy's Edge is out. The source I'm using for this article is InsideTheMagic.com. So it was just for lunch yesterday.
We had grilled cheese.
We did. We're good.
It was good.
I had 2 grilled cheese.
Yeah, you did. And you put crackers inside.
They're crazy.
Saltine
Don't dish
crackers.
it until you've tried it.
It's nasty.
You haven't tried it.
When I started, anyway, eating my grilled cheese, I started seeing tweets that the new VR experience, Tales from the Galaxy Edge, was just released that moment, which I don't think any of us really knew that was going to be happening that day. But we downloaded it right away. Nate and Sam, you guys have both played it. So, Nate, you get to go first. Tell me what you think.
Great. We're going to give a little bit of a pros and cons list, but going through it really quick. I'm going to give the pros first. The pros, a fantastic experience. The gunplay is really nice. The inventory is really nice. The graphics are fantastic. The score is great. And the voice acting is great. It's fun hearing Bobby Moynihan back in the game, back in Star Wars. It's a great game.
Orca. From Resistance, yeah.
It's just a great game. The cantina is a lot of fun. You can play darts. You can activate a jukebox. And
so, you can interact with things all around like that.
Like, the jukebox has songs that are that Rex plays on Galaxy's Edge.
Nice.
You can go out onto the lookout, and next time you go to Galaxy's Edge, I can point out exactly where the cantina is. You can look out right above the Falcon and everywhere. It's exactly the same.
Does it feel like Galaxy's Edge?
Yes. You can't walk around Black Spire Outpost itself yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you think it'll happen?
I think it might happen. But the ways that they're doing the DLCs are the most interesting ways you could create DLCs and access them. So what you have to do is the bartender knows a lot of these tales about Jedi,
which is
stuff,
hence the name Tales from Galaxy's Edge.
High Republic, and we get one tale, which he's like, okay, I don't have these ingredients for this drink, but if you get me this ingredients that goes with this tale, I'll tell you the tale. So you have to go out and collect these ingredients and then go back to the cantina and drink this drink, and he'll tell you the tale, and you'll be able to play through that level. It's like
cool. You're living the tale or whatever.
It's really cool. And yesterday I played our first piece of content from the High Republic, which was fantastic. It was everything about it was just great, and it was...
The story was cool. You got to see Yoda at 300-400 years younger.
Can I give spoilers, or do I wait?
Let's wait on that.
I would wait. Just, okay.
Because I haven't played it.
Very dark.
Oh, wow.
And short, yes, but dark, very.
So this is just the DLC you're talking about?
Yes, and this is going to very much tie into the High Republic with
you think so?
What makes the Jedi afraid.
Wow. Sam, what was your experience like playing it?
I didn't get super far, or especially not story-wise, but I can speak for the gameplay. It is honestly one of the nicest playing VR games.
You do lots of VR stuff.
Yeah. No, it's honestly one of the nicest playing games I've ever played. Everything's responsive when you pick up to it. Everything's snappy. It runs smooth. Graphics are good for that kind of game. We were using the first Quest, but I've heard that on the Quest 2 it's even better.
Wow.
Plays great. A lot of fun. The characters so far are a lot of fun. The gunplay is not super easy. It gives you a challenge, and you can die. We died multiple times, so it's fun in that regard. There's porgs, which we always love.
So talk about the porg.
So
maybe Nate has to do this.
The second time you go back to the cantina, he's telling tales. He's just talking about stuff, and this guy doesn't like porgs because they're everywhere in his cantina. Like, every time. The jukebox was broken down because a porg got into it and started chewing on the cables.
He said he woke up to 3 of them watching him sleep one day.
He's like, they're really cute and they're great until you wake up and see 3 of them staring at you. And he says, yeah, Chewbacca brought one home from...
Brainless?
My bad.
Come on, Dad.
I bumped a button.
But he's like, yeah, Chewbacca brought a couple home from Kashyyyk, his home planet. And I'm like, oh, that's Turvis.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure the only porg we know of from
that has
Kashyyyk.
Been to Kashyyyk.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so
And then he said he
cool.
brought a couple, which means Turvis still had his girlfriend.
He's got his girlfriend.
And looks like the porg's fully populated Batu.
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
All right, so Nathan, you said there's some cons. So what are the cons?
There is a bug to where, at least on the Quest, if you remove your helmet and put it back on, either the stuff in your hand just disappears, or the stuff in your pockets.
So there's some glitches that they're going to have to fix.
Is invisible. So it's very hard.
So you have to pause it if you're going to take your helmet off.
In that respect, another really hindering thing is we're a group of 3 that all want to play this game, and I played the game I got close to the end last night. I had played for 2 hours or so. And Sammy decided, okay, I'm going to start a new game, which we thought meant new save file to where we could both be playing different save files, which is normally how it works. That's not how it is in this one.
Oh.
So every time the game saves itself, it adds it to the files, which there's 6 files that are available. So Sammy has 6 saves going right now. So all of my progress was just wiped.
Overwritten.
So they need to fix that. They need to add something
to where you can have multiple
people. You can't have multiple accounts on the quest itself because it is a Facebook account linked. So they just need to figure something out,
like a guest account or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to have one person play through it on their own time
and then do it again.
No, just start a new game with us and start over. So I'm gonna have to start over.
Okay. So it appears that there's going to be further episodes or DLCs or something like that that's going to be coming.
Yeah.
In the future. Awesome. When they do, we'll just we'll be downloading them and playing them and
for sure
giving you our thoughts about it. So
one of the best VR games I've played.
Last one real quick. Daisy Ridley has some thoughts on Baby Yoda's appetite. So this is from IGN.com. After a couple of weeks of silliness masquerading as wokeness, Daisy Ridley has shared her thoughts on Baby Yoda's eating habits. If you'll recall, in Chapter 10 of The Mandalorian, Baby Yoda continued to eat the frog lady's eggs over and over again, even though he was told not to. This wasn't really all that popular with some of the fans. Some even went to the extent of calling it genocide.
Which we might want to go and define that word.
Let's study things like the Holocaust before we start saying that. Anyway, that might be a bit of an overreaction. Anyway, IGN was interviewing Daisy Ridley regarding her soon-to-be-released film Chaos Walking with that guy Tom Holland.
Yep. And Mads Mikkelsen.
When they decided to ask her what she thought about this latest Star Wars controversy. Because she was talking about The Mandalorian. She likes she watches every episode.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Ridley responded with a laugh, saying, "Oh, cancel culture. Look, Mando's got to eat. Yoda's got to eat. Yoda's got to get strong. That's just that. No, I'm like, Yoda, do your thing. The creature got to be where she needed to be with the eggs. It's all good. It was beautiful." So, Sam, agree or disagree with Daisy?
I agree with Daisy. It's funny. He didn't eat all the eggs. They got a kid. Let Baby Yoda be a kid.
Baby Yoda wanted to keep it as a pet. So, everything was fine at the end.
It's just kind of
it was just a bit of an overreaction.
A little bit of an overreaction from some people. Yeah, with it. BB Nate really also said that she's very satisfied with Rey's story and how it ended in T-Ross. You like T-Ross. You enjoyed that movie a lot. Do you think that we'll ever see Rey in Star Wars again?
No, because she's making it very apparent.
Apparent? I don't know if that's a word.
We'll
have to look
I don't know why I said that. Yeah. Apparent that she's always saying it was a very satisfying ending. I loved the ending. The ending was great. She keeps saying ending. I think she wants to get away from stupid Star Wars fans, which makes sense.
Yeah, she threw out the cancel culture word in that. So, all right, Chaos Walking, that movie that we talked about a minute ago, that she's going to be in there with Tom Holland and Mads Mikkelsen.
Yes.
Which one was
Galen
Mads?
Erso.
Galen Erso. Okay, it wasn't Lars Mikkelsen who did Thrawn.
No,
in the voice of Thrawn.
No.
Okay, it's scheduled to be released in January, but come on, I mean, seriously, the movie was filmed like 4 years ago, and with COVID, it'll probably just go straight to video on demand or Amazon,
probably,
or something like that. All right, can we talk about our main topic? It's going to be fast. It's Chopper.
It's always fast.
Well, no,
it's just about certain characters. So
yeah, one of the most interesting and unique droids in Star Wars is C-110P,
or Chopper,
better known as Chopper. Over the 4 seasons of Star Wars Rebels, we saw him fight with Ezra and Zeb more times than we could count, and in classic Star Wars droid fashion, he saved the day more times than that. But the thing we love most about this cantankerous can, that
was good. That was good.
That was like onomatopoeia.
No, did you have to look up cantankerous?
No, I typed that without spell check.
No, did you have to look it up to see what it means?
No, I know that word. I was cantankerous.
But you don't know what onomatopoeia means. So.
I guess not. All right. In his ability, the thing we love about him. All right. Now I got to go back.
Let's just do it.
But the thing that we love the most about this cantankerous can is his ability to make friends with others when it appeared they'd never get along.
Bulky religions and ancient weapons are no match for a good blaster at your side, kid.
Rebellions are built on hope.
Force is with me, and I am with the Force. if you live long enough, you see the same eyes in different people.
All right. Let's just do this.
Jump right into it.
Talk about Chopper. What do you guys think about him?
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about how he makes friends with others when it seems like they would never get along. I think the prime example of this is Ezra and Zeb.
Oh, he hated Ezra and Zeb in the first season.
Oh, man. They were both like...
And Zeb had been with him on the crew for long before that.
Yeah, I mean, they were both like, I'm going to disassemble him. They're like, save a few bolts for me. Like, they were never got along. I mean, they were beating the crap out of each other. There was the whole... There's an episode where they were like getting the fuel or whatever, and they didn't check the fuel line because Chopper got in the way and got in. Like, they're constantly fighting. But by the end of the series, I mean, sure, they still fight, but they like respect each other more, and they honestly, it's like this love sort of thing between them.
Yeah.
And it's this really beautiful relationship. How it goes from like the annoying brothers constantly fighting to they're fighting, but it's because they still like each other.
Yeah. A lot of fun.
Yeah.
Even Nate, you've got this thing for AP5.
I have a thing for the droid. The both droids.
You love droids in general. But
I have a thing for both droids and Rebels. They're both really cool, and I love just their relationship. It started with, like, both of them, because Chopper is sarcastic and snarky, and so is AP5. So they clash with their personalities, and they're just throwing them at each other constantly the first time they meet. And... we see them grow in this series to basically becoming best friends. Like,
kind of almost R2C3PO type.
Very much so.
Which they don't get along all the time either.
No, but they respect each other a lot, and I love just the growing of. AP5 is very important to Chopper in his story through Rebels. If it helps him grow, it helps him connect better with Ezra and Zeb because he learns how to connect with people better, and even though it's just a droid, droids still have personalities, and so I think that AP5 is just so important to how Chopper feels to people. It's great. I love it.
That's awesome. You know, the thing that I love so much about Chopper's character arc and just sort of how he fits into this is it kind of ties into the fact that the Rebels family, the Spectre crew, is a family, right? And so you can fight with your brothers or like Zeb and Ezra are fighting with Chopper, and Chopper's annoying them, and they're getting on each other's case, and then they bring in AP5 as part of the family, and it takes a while for him to fully get integrated, but once he does, there's this relationship there. But when push comes to shove, I remember this. My family fought growing up, like big time. My dad was a hard man to be around. You guys don't remember him, but Nathan never even got a chance to meet him because he passed just before Nathan was born. But he was a hard man, and he yelled a lot, and we yell a lot in this family. We get frustrated with each other and that type of thing. But one thing that I always remember growing up was when push came to shove, when something needed to happen to protect our family or to support our family or something like that, we came together. And you see that happening with Chopper a lot, especially in the finale period, where Chopper's going to go, he's going to figure out how to help save Kanan, and he's going to go save Hera and all of this. They're working together. He's a part of this group trying to bring it together. And I love that no matter how much you disagree, that's kind of the, let's just do it. Let's just dad moment here. So
I am your father.
Chopper is a great example of how to interact with those who frankly just get on your nerves or worse. He doesn't like Ezra and Zeb and AP5 and probably everybody else as part of the crew, maybe except for Hera. But he doesn't have to. He's still willing to work together with them to help them when they need him. And in our crazy social media world, it tries to convince us that everyone has to agree with us with that. They don't. You don't have to agree with everybody. In fact, I tweeted out this morning because I was thinking about this stuff. I said, if both of us agree on 100% of everything, then one of us isn't very intelligent, because we should be able to disagree. We should be able to have different opinions.
But do it respectfully.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the things that, I love about so many of you guys that follow us on Twitter and Facebook and such. We have pretty much blocked everybody that was negative, like just toxic, and gotten rid of them. And I know we've been blocked by people that don't like us. And I totally get that. And I don't mean that to say, we want to block people. But the reality is, let's try to just work together. When you start getting toxic, there's a difference between being cantankerous like Chopper and being toxic. And so, we don't have to get along or agree on everything, but we do, and we should get along with each other. And next week, we're just going to jump. BB Nate, who are we talking about next week?
Talking about BB-8.
Yeah. That's good.
Droid, please.
Everybody loves that guy.
All right. So anything else we want to talk about?
Anything else?
Yeah, so the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special is out, and it was amazing.
Fantastic.
You just got to go watch. It was perfect. It was perfect.
Just describe it in one sentence. Sam, BB Nate, you go first. Describe it in one sentence.
In one sentence.
It doesn't have to be perfect.
You could do a run-on sentence, too, if you need.
Old school Lego humor.
All right, good. Sam me the hut.
It felt like a fitting wrap-up for
those characters,
the original, or for the Skywalker saga.
Nice. I think it was perfectly making fun of Star Wars while still honoring Star Wars.
Yes.
With it, and the best moment for me was this.
Hello there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So all three of them on that. Who's next? Oh, it's me. George Lucas has weighed in on that infamous Han shooting first scene.
What'd he say?
He said he never intended for Han to be a bad guy. He never intended for it to look like he shot first. It was bad editing and bad cutting, and he always intended it to be the other way around. So,
oh wow,
he's still wrong. So,
So we've gotten our first glimpse of Disney World's Galactic Star Cruiser. Now we got a first glimpse of our room. And it looks like a standard room, probably the super value room that goes on the bottom floor, because there's going to be 3 floors of different rooms.
Okay.
I honestly think that the bunk beds are not as small as we saw them in the photo.
Okay.
I think that just might be the lens that they chose.
Might be deeper than it looks.
Yes, but the great thing about this whole hotel is you're going to be completely immersed in Star Wars no matter what. You're going to park in a separate parking lot. They're going to transport you on a Star Wars space-themed shuttle to the place to dock onto the spaceship. And when you're going out, you're going to be going out to Batuu and not Hollywood Studios itself. And the shuttle, somebody looked really closely at where the shuttle is going to be parked. It looks like the shuttle might be parked on a moving platform.
I've seen the platform actually on a post on social media. It turns, so it pulls onto the platform. It turns, the whole platform turns. So then you get out in Batuu, and then it turns again as they're moving through.
Good
so
Lord.
you never look like you're in the park.
It shakes
you're just
and
straight
everything.
into
It's
Batuu.
supposed to feel like you're just,
Which is probably
ship.
some of the same technology that they use for Rise of the Resistance, which is confusing for us because we
we still can't figure that one out.
All right, cool, Sam.
All right, well,
oh, that was it. No, that was it. All right. Hey, thank you guys for enduring our fun 40-minute story at the beginning.
That was crazy.
How long was that?
It was almost 40 minutes, 35 minutes of that. But that was a lot of fun to tell, and I hope it made you laugh and got to know us a little bit better. It made me cry internally. I was crying inside. But yeah, so next week we'll try to do a little bit more Star Wars talk and a little less of.
I'm sure there'll be more to talk about with Ahsoka.
No more. Oh, next week we're going to be a lot. It's going to be Ahsoka heavy. I'm almost 100% sure on that. All right. Anything else you guys want to say?
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you always.
This party's over.
I like that Wookiee.
Don't get technical with me.